Number 12. Netherlands. You probably know it for bicycles, canals, tulips, and windmills. But if you are watching this on a phone, computer, or smart television, part of that device may exist because of a Dutch machine. A company in the Netherlands builds the huge machines needed to make the world's most advanced computer chips. These machines use a powerful beam of light to draw tiny patterns onto thin pieces of silicon. Those patterns later become the chips inside phones, cars, computers, medical tools, and the large servers behind artificial intelligence. Here is the strange part. The Netherlands does not make most of those advanced chips. It makes the machine that other countries need before they can make them. You can design a powerful chip on a computer screen and build an enormous factory around it. But without the right Dutch machine, that design may never become a real chip. And no, another company cannot simply open one of these machines, copy the parts, and sell its own version next year. Each machine contains powerful light, extremely smooth mirrors, moving platforms, and thousands of parts working together. Even a tiny mistake can damage the pattern and ruin an expensive piece of silicon. Building a similar machine would require skilled workers, special suppliers, years of testing, and a mountain of money. So when chip factories want to produce smaller and more powerful chips, they often have to wait for equipment from the Netherlands. Think about that for a second. One of the most important steps behind your phone, your car, and even this video begins with a giant machine built in a small European country. The Netherlands does not control the entire world of computer chips. It controls one machine that this world cannot quickly replace. And once that Dutch machine creates the tiny patterns, Taiwan takes over and turns them into some of the most advanced chips on Earth. Number 11. Taiwan. You may be holding a phone right now, and one of its most important parts may have come from this small island. Taiwan's factories make some of the smallest and most powerful computer chips in the world. These chips help run phones, cars, medical machines, computers, and the large buildings filled with servers. Many companies can draw a chip design on a computer screen. Taiwan is where many of those designs are turned into real chips. Think of it like a kitchen where companies bring their best recipes, but only a few cooks know how to prepare them perfectly. Inside these factories, machines build billions of tiny switches into pieces of silicon smaller than your hand. One small mistake can ruin an entire group of chips and turn weeks of work into expensive waste. That is why you cannot copy Taiwan's success by simply buying machines and opening a new factory. You also need trained workers, years of practice, reliable suppliers, and factories that can repeat the same difficult job every day. If Taiwan's factories stopped for several months, car plants, phone companies, and computer makers around the world could begin waiting for missing parts. Taiwan does not make every chip, but it runs factories that the world cannot quickly rebuild somewhere else. But chips are only one part of modern technology because many of the devices around you also need batteries made from materials that begin in countries like the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Number 10. Democratic Republic of the Congo. You may see electric cars, smartphones, and giant battery factories as symbols of the future. But before those things can exist, the story begins deep underground in one of Africa's largest countries. The Democratic Republic of the Congo has some of the world's biggest supplies of cobalt, a material used in many modern batteries. This material helps power the devices you carry, the cars people drive, and the energy systems cities are building. The strange part is that a country with such an important resource is still not one of the richest places on Earth. Far below the surface, workers and machines search through the ground for minerals that later travel across the world. Those materials move through ships, factories, and different countries before becoming part of the batteries used in everyday technology. So the next time you charge your phone or see an electric car on the road, remember that part of that story may have started in a Congolese mine. You might think owning a resource that everyone wants would automatically make a country powerful. But the journey from a piece of rock in the ground to a finished product happens across many countries. The mine may be in one place, while the factories, technology, and money are created somewhere else. That is why having a valuable resource is only the first step. Sometimes the real power is not where the resource is found, but what happens after it leaves the ground. Number 9. China. You probably see products made in China almost every day, from phones and clothes to machines and cars. But the biggest part of China's power is not only the things you see on store shelves. The real advantage often begins before a product is even built. Imagine a valuable material coming out of a mine in one country. Before that material can become a battery, an electronic device, or a useful machine, it has to go through several important steps. China built thousands of factories that clean, prepare, and transform these materials into parts that other companies can use. So a country may own the mine, but still need Chinese factories before that resource can become a finished product. You might think the strongest country is the one with the biggest mines, but sometimes the bigger advantage belongs to the country standing between the mine and the factory. Over many years, China built workers, factories, and experience that are extremely difficult for other countries to copy quickly. If this huge network slows down, companies around the world may struggle to get the materials needed for phones, batteries, and modern technology. China does not need to own every mine on Earth. It became powerful by controlling one of the most important steps that happens after resources leave the ground. Number 8. Qatar. You probably know Qatar as a small country in the Middle East, but its size hides something much bigger. Deep under the water near its coast is one of the largest supplies of natural gas in the world. You may not think about energy every day, but it quietly keeps factory machines moving, houses warm, and city lights turned on. Qatar built huge plants that can turn this gas into a form that can travel across oceans. Giant ships then carry this energy from Qatar to countries thousands of kilometers away. The strange part is that Qatar is smaller than many major cities, yet its energy can affect decisions around the world. You might think global power only comes from big armies, huge populations, or massive land. But sometimes a small country sitting on the right resource can become important to millions of people. Qatar's power does not come from making the most products or having the largest factories. It comes from controlling a resource that keeps homes, businesses, and industries running every day. Building this energy system took years of work, thousands of workers, and extremely expensive equipment. So Qatar proves that size does not always decide importance. Sometimes, one small country can hold something the entire world is watching. Number 7 is Indonesia. You probably know Indonesia for its islands, beaches, and huge population. But hidden under its land is a material that became extremely important for the future of transportation. Indonesia has some of the world's largest supplies of nickel, a material used to make many modern batteries. You may think the most valuable part of a mine is simply taking the material out of the ground. But Indonesia looked at its mines and asked a simple question. Why should other countries make the expensive part of the business? Instead of only sending rocks to other countries, Indonesia started building factories that could turn those materials into more valuable products at home. This changed the story from a country that only sells resources into a country that wants to build the next step of the industry itself. Big companies started building battery factories and electric vehicle projects inside Indonesia. The interesting part is that Indonesia is not powerful just because it has a lot of nickel underground. Its advantage comes from trying to control what happens after the material leaves the ground. From minerals to technology, the same battle is happening in many industries around the world. A country can have the resource, but the biggest rewards often come from the factories and products built after it. Indonesia's nickel story is not only about a metal under the ground. It is about a country trying to move from selling what it has to building what the future needs. Number 6. Egypt. You probably know Egypt for ancient pyramids, deserts, and one of the oldest civilizations in history. But hidden between two seas is a narrow waterway that helps move products across the entire planet. The Suez Canal gives ships traveling between Europe and Asia a much shorter path instead of going around the bottom of Africa. You might think a small line drawn on a map cannot change the world, but this single route saves ships thousands of kilometers of extra travel. Every day, giant cargo ships carrying cars, oil, food, and other products pass through this canal. When everything works normally, most people never even notice this tiny waterway. But when one ship gets stuck, companies around the world can suddenly feel the delay. The interesting part is that Egypt does not own the ships, control the oceans, or make the products traveling through the canal. Its power comes from controlling the shortcut that connects some of the busiest trade routes on Earth. Workers constantly clear, repair, and protect this waterway so ships can keep moving. You can think of it like a tiny door on a huge road. The road is global trade, and Egypt holds the key to one of its most important shortcuts. Sometimes, the most powerful place is not where things are made. Sometimes, it is the place where the world has no choice but to pass through. Number 5. Chile. You probably know Chile for its long coastline, tall mountains, and beautiful landscapes. But under its dry land is an old metal that suddenly became one of the most important materials for the future. Chile has some of the largest supplies of copper in the world. You may think copper is just the metal inside old wires, buildings, and everyday objects. But the same material is now needed for electric cars, new energy systems, and the technology powering the modern world. As more countries move toward using more electricity, the demand for copper keeps growing. A phone, a car, a factory, and even a power system all need this simple metal to move energy from one place to another. The strange part is that copper is not a new discovery. Humans have used it for thousands of years, but today this old material has a completely new role. Chile's challenge is not only taking copper out of the ground. The bigger question is how much more value the country can create from the material before it leaves. You might think the future belongs only to new technology and futuristic inventions, but sometimes the key to the future is an old metal hidden under the ground. And Chile is sitting on one of the world's biggest supplies of it. Number 4. Morocco. You probably know Morocco for colorful markets, deserts, and ancient cities. But a part of Morocco's story does not happen in the streets or the cities. It starts under the ground, with a simple material that helps farmers grow more food. You may never think about it while eating breakfast, but the food on your table depends on farms producing enough crops. And many farms around the world need fertilizer to help plants grow faster and stronger. Morocco has one of the largest supplies of phosphate, a material used to make that fertilizer. The strange part is that this is not about phones, cars, or futuristic machines. It is about something much more basic, feeding billions of people. Across Morocco, huge mines collect phosphate from the ground before it travels to farms around the world. Farmers then use fertilizer made from this material to grow crops like wheat, corn, and rice. You might think the most powerful resources are the ones connected to the newest technology. But sometimes, the most important resource is the one that helps people survive every single day. Morocco's phosphate story shows that global power is not only about building the future. Sometimes it is about protecting the food supply of the present. Number 3. Brazil. You probably know Brazil for football, the Amazon rainforest, and its huge cities. But hidden inside this country is a metal that most people have never heard of. Its name is niobium, and Brazil has most of the world's supply of it. You might be wondering, why should anyone care about a metal with such a strange name? Because even a small amount of niobium can make certain types of steel stronger and lighter. That means this hidden material can help build things like airplanes, bridges, cars, and powerful machines. The strange part is that you will probably never see niobium in your daily life. You will not find it sitting on store shelves, but it can quietly be inside the things that move people and build cities. You might think the strongest countries are the ones with the biggest armies, the largest populations, or the most money. But sometimes, a country becomes important because the world depends on one small thing that is hard to replace. Brazil does not need to sell mountains of this metal to matter. It only needs to control a material that very few other places can provide. The story of niobium shows that the future is not always hidden inside giant machines or huge resources. Sometimes, it starts with a small piece of metal buried deep underground. Number 2. South Africa. You probably know it for wild animals, gold mines, and some of the most famous landscapes in Africa. But under its ground is a group of metals that quietly helps modern machines work. The best-known one is platinum, but several other useful metals are found beside it. You may never see these metals even when they are working inside a car, a hospital machine, or a factory. In many cars, they help reduce harmful gases before those gases leave the exhaust pipe. They are also used in medical equipment, factory machines, and new ways of making energy. So, the next time you see a car on the road or medical equipment inside a hospital, a tiny part of it may have started in South Africa. The unusual part is that much of the world's supply comes from one area inside the country. Imagine car companies, hospitals, and factories all reaching into the same small box for the metals they need. If the mines slow down, companies cannot simply find the same amount somewhere else the next month. Opening a new mine takes years, and workers still have to separate a small amount of metal from huge piles of rock. That is why metals from South Africa can end up inside cars, hospitals, and factories across the world. You may notice the car, the hospital machine, or the factory. What you probably will not notice is the small piece of South Africa working quietly inside it. Number 1. Panama. You probably know it as the small country connecting North and South America, but a narrow waterway cutting through Panama connects two of the world's largest oceans. The Panama Canal lets ships travel between the Atlantic and Pacific without sailing around the bottom of South America. You may see only a thin blue line on a map, but that line saves ships thousands of kilometers of extra travel. Cargo ships carrying food, fuel, cars, and everyday products enter from one ocean and leave through the other. The most surprising part is that these giant ships do not simply sail straight across the land. Huge gates fill parts of the canal with water, lift the ships, and lower them again on the other side. It works almost like a giant water elevator built for ships. When everything works normally, ships pass through quickly and store shelves far away stay full. But when water levels fall, ships begin waiting, deliveries arrive late, and prices can rise in other countries. A small country can suddenly affect ports, factories, and stores thousands of kilometers away. Panama does not build the products inside those ships, and it does not own most of the ships using the canal. It controls the shortcut that saves many of them days of extra travel. The world may look enormous on a map, but one narrow path through Panama can still change how quickly it moves.